The Gacha series of games created by Lunamine Studios are probably some of my favorite mobile games to have been created as of recently, and that's mostly due to many factors, whether it be the kick-ass art style, which is endearing and also can be annoying at times but still endearing for the most part, or the music, which is pretty kick-ass, especially for a mobile game, the variable gameplay, which differs between many different gacha games, or in my instance, the overarching narrative, which is one aspect that seems to be overshadowed by the gacha community. And the reason why I say that is because the purpose of this video is mostly to explain the story that exists between Gacha World and Gacha Memories. And as many of you know, Gacha Memories especially has a lot of world building and lore into it. And surprisingly, the entire Gacha series itself has a lot of lore around it. And since no YouTuber has decided to make a video on that, I decided it's going to be my job to make a video basing around its world building lore, which is held across many different games, as I mentioned. And also to talk about the many things that are contained in the series itself. So with that being said, as we get into this video, one thing I want you to understand is that a lot of the games themselves, they hold relevance to the story, and while Lunamine's canon is very loose, it is pretty much established that everything itself is technically canon. I should say technically, due to the fact that it does run a multiverse series, so some things happen but not in the main universe. But regardless, with that being said, it's time we jump into this and get explaining to the Gachaverse timeline. Before the existence of the Gachaverse, there was a stagnant and empty void of nothingness. From this swirl of nothing, a divine race of cosmic entities named the Creators came into being. There was an infinite number of these creators, and each of them created their own universes to watch over. And this created what is defined as the old world prior to the damage caused by Soul and his followers, of which will be elaborated on later. Among these universes that were shaped lies a powerful magician whose true name was lost in time. He originally lived a normal life with his wife and children until a rogue creator by the name of Soul destroyed his entire universe and erased everything he held close. This event is what sparked the unnamed magician to become fueled by anger, and this would eventually lead to him turning against his creator, Soul. He succeeded in his rebellion and essentially killed his creator whilst taking his identity. Soul would later begin to gather up an army of followers who all believed the creator should be destroyed, and this rebellion led to a massive war that resulted in the destruction of countless creators and even the old world itself, as many universes were destroyed in the process. Soul was eventually sealed by a group of creators who each wielded the elements fire, water, wind, light, and darkness, where he would lay dormant for billions of years and his powers would be lessened as they After the fundamental destruction of the old world, an immensely powerful creator by the name of Creator Looney, that is, who came into existence at some undisclosed time, created what we defined as the Gachaverse, in addition to every world that existed after the old world. Soon after the Gachaverse has been established into being, several other important places such as X-Core, which was created by Dice, Chibian, which was created by Yumi, would also be created and exist among the Gachaverse. As this was occurring, another being by the name of Ellie had come into existence as well, presumably by the hands of Creator Looney. She originally was the RNG goddess and was the only creature aside from Looney herself who could manipulate the entire RNG system. Ellie's full power was eventually sealed within the Gacha Sword by Creator Looney, and as such, she lost her RNG goddess form, becoming a simple fairy. In addition to Ellie, several other important figures would also come into existence by Creator Looney herself, such as Succubus Lilith, who was created out of Looney's loneliness, Charlotte May, who was an assistant of Looney herself, and several other creators such as Kusine, Misoku, Yumi, Lucas Lee, who's basically a male aspect of Creator Looney herself, and countless other important figures.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the first Gachaverse developer update video. I am Looney, and well, if you thought I was this loony, yes, indeed, I am a girl. Guy in real life.
Wow, that was so lame.
Wait.
So we finally arrive at Gacha World, where everything starts to come full circle to the actual plot from a series standpoint. Here we basically meet the Gacha Summoner, an important figure who's going to appear throughout Gacha World and Gacha Memories. Basically here we're going to explain the plot of Gacha World, where its importance into the narrative holds. And with that we begin. After ages of watching over the Gachaverse, Creator Looney has gotten bored of her creations, and as such, she created a force known as the Corruption. This force will come important later on into the narrative, but basically she created this force in order to destroy everything within the verse. This sentient force manifested itself in the fragment, that being Final Boss, who physically embodies corruption itself, and the Blades of Corruption, which contain the essence of corruption itself. Fueled by both her boredom and corruption, Creator Looney decides to drag numerous people from across countless worlds in order to summon them in the Gachaverse, where they'll be stuck until the Gacha Summoner releases them. So within the narrative, we come to Gacha Summoner, a messiah-like figure who originally was a teenager in the quote-unquote normal world. He was summoned to the Gachaverse by Ellie, who needs him to wield the Gacha Sword in order to rid the various worlds of corruption, and essentially save the world, kicking off the events of Gacha World as I stated beforehand. After having been summoned, the Gacha Summoner first arrives in the Gacha Forest, and from there they traverse the various worlds alongside Ellie, which include the likes of the Gacha Kingdom, X-Core, Elementia, Chibian, Vinyl City, Neon City, and eventually the Gacha Moon. While traveling on the Gacha Moon, the Gacha Summoner runs into Succubus Lilith, who attempts to fight Gacha Summoner in an attempt to capture him for her creator, Creator Looney. After Gacha Summoner and Ellie defeat Succubus Lilith, they finally meet face to face with Creator Looney, who, in a twist, actually removes the Gacha Summoner's ability to use the Gacha Sword, and he's actually forced to outlast Creator Looney's impossible game. After ridding Creator Looney of her corruption and boredom, Gacha Summoner goes on to fight Final Boss, who is the physical representation of corruption itself, and is revealed to have been the one destroying all worlds. All seems good after the Gacha Summoner defeats Final Boss, until the Final Boss corrupts Ellie as a last-ditch effort, and this combined with the powers of both the Gacha Sword and Blades of Corruption causes Ellie to unleash her true form, the RNG Goddess. After the defeat of RNG Goddess Ellie, Gacha Summoner returns to his world, in addition to all the other Gacha units who were dragged into the Gachaverse. Finally, we arrive at Gacha Memories, where everything as far as plot goes makes a stop. That's at least until Gacha League comes out. Since Gacha Memories is a visual novel and has many routes, that means the plot itself can change. For simplistic sake, we're going to go over the plot, but not the route specifically. I can go over that in a later date. But as far as we go, this pretty much is the Gacha Memories timeline. Taking place after the events of Gacha World, we finally arrive at Gacha Memories. In Gacha Memories, Gacha Summoner is living a somewhat normal life after he had rid corruption. After some time, there are reports of missing people from Gacha Summoner's hometown. This causes Gacha Summoner to investigate, and soon he learns of the existence of bugs, as he is attacked by a group of them. After having been attacked by the bugs, he travels to Misoku's shrine like he had promised, and then he proceeds to chat with Kitsune Misoku, even bringing up the missing people incident. After coming back from school doing some tedious paperwork with Naomi, Gacha Summoner runs into a desolate place where no sign of humanity could be felt, so in turn he teleports back. In an attempt to teleport home, the mysterious entity before sends him to the same 2D space he was present at beforehand, and whilst trying to escape, Gacha Summoner spots a mysterious coffin titled Soul. Instead of getting home, Gacha Summoner is teleported to the Gacha Moon, where he encounters Succubus Lilith, and here we learn that Succubus Lilith is actually part of Creator Looney herself, being able to feel what she can feel and experience what she does. Through this, Gacha Summoner indirectly catches the attention of Creator Looney. Gacha Summoner proceeds to tell Creator Looney and Ellie about the whole matter, whom of which both get emotionally upset, and this causes Looney to explain to the Gacha Summoner that he was being crushed down to a 2D level. We learn from Creator Looney that the coffin itself contains a living entity inside, and it is the one behind the bugs, in addition to reality itself being flipped on its head. As Gacha Summoner is coming home from school, Kitsune Misoku is attacked by bugs of her own, and Gacha Summoner coming just at the right time assists her in the destruction of these bugs. Despite the defeat, Kitsune Misoku and Gacha Summoner were mortally wounded, as it's revealed by Looney that the bugs attacked the very soul and concept of both Misoku and Gacha Summoner. Gacha Summoner is given the option to either stay on Earth or accompany Looney with the bug situation. Given the series runs on multiverse theory, technically all these situations happened in another timeline, but again, for simple sake, we'll say he stayed with Looney. Anyways, Creator Looney discovers that the entity contained within the mysterious coffin is an immensely powerful being named Soul, whom of which we talked about here in the beginning. Creator Looney tells Gacha Summoner and the group the origins of everything in the Gachaverse. Creator Looney reveals at some point she encountered Soul's followers, the Genesis, and even Soul himself, having fought him once and sealed him once again, whilst deleting his followers. Gacha Summoner and whoever he partners up with encounters Soul's manifestation, which he created while he was sealed away. They fight the Avatar with some difficulty, but in the end prevail. In addition, they learn that Soul plans to absorb all of humanity in order to achieve his full strength. Gacha Summoner proceeds to fight Soul himself directly on. In a long and hard fight, Gacha Summoner manages to defeat Soul and seal him away back into his 2D coffin. So with that being said, this basically ends the Gachaverse timeline, at least until Gacha League comes out. While I do think that a lot of the lore bits come from Gacha Memories, who knows, maybe there could be some more stuff in Gacha League. However the case is, I still support Luna May, and I'm glad to have made this video because not too many Gacha tubers actually focus on the lore aspect. But with that being said, that's all folks. Super Rare Neo, peace the fuck out, like usual.